What line delivery in a video game has stuck with you? For me, it has to be Mark Mir as Commander Shepard saying, "The best," during the Citadel DLC. Playing the Mass Effect trilogy for the first time and hearing that line made me tear up. I had spent 3 games with some of these characters and I was still in disbelief that the story was closing despite just about everything being wrapped up. You are a horrible person. We weren't even testing for that. On the topic of Portal, the entire delivery of the part where he kills you. Well, this is the part where he kills us. Hello, this is the part where I kill you. Chapter 9. The part where he kills you, Steam achievement obtained. The part where he kills you. This is that part, and just for good measure, even though you can't visually see the title in-game, the OST in that section is titled, "The part where he kills you." I saw the chapter title and thought an achievement would be the icing on the cake, and then it popped up and made my day lol. I'm glad the achievement popped up since the cake is a lie. BGM. The part where he kills you. GLaDOS. Ah. Well, this is the part where he kills us. Wheatley. Hello, this is the part where I kill you. Chapter 9. The part where he kills you achievement unlocked. The part where he kills you. This is that part. Have some lemons. Demand to see Life's Manager. For me, it's when the turrets go, "Oh, there you are," and I internally go, "Oh shit, fuck balls, run, hide." Oh, hi. So, how are you holding up? Because I'm a potato. Oh, hi. How've you been? I've been really busy being dead. You know, since you killed me. Isn't it? Since you murdered me. At least. That's how I remember it being said. Federal regulations require me to warn you that this next test chamber is looking pretty good. I'm going to get my engineers to invent a combustible lemon that burns your house down. For those of you who volunteer to be injected with praying mantis DNA, I've got some good news and some bad news. Bad news is we're postponing Thigh's test indefinitely. Good news is we have a much better test. Fighting an army of mantis men. Pick up a rifle and follow the yellow line. You'll know when the test starts. Science isn't about the why, it's about the why not. I punch these numbers into my calculator and it makes a smiley face. For those of you here for the tests on injecting praying mantis DNA, I have good news and bad news. The bad news is those tests are canceled. The good news is, we got a new test for you. Fighting an army of mantis men. Pick up a rifle and follow the yellow line. You'll know when the test starts. Now you might have a very mild case of severe brain damage. Now, if that thought alarms you, try to hold on to that. Because that is most definitely the right reaction to being told you have brain damage. Take GLaDOS out of this game and it's a throwaway. That character and her actress are so good. The writing is more important than anything. The character exists in other games but nowhere is good. There have been lots of other puzzle games with lots of innovative mechanics and level designs. Portal would have never become the smash hit it did without the amazing writing and characterization. GLaDOS is a fantastic character, but let's not pretend like both Portal games weren't revolutionary in their puzzle mechanics and use of physics. It's funny when she shows up in Cyberpunk. https://imager.com/eb87erg closing parenthesis. Oh, it's you. The one that had me rolling was the part with the broken jump pad. You are looking very healthy, by the way. Look at you, flying through the air so majestically. You're like an eagle, piloting a blimp. I couldn't stop laughing the first time I heard that line. Freaking GLaDOS cuts you to the core. Man XD. You know what my days used to be like? I just tested. Nobody murdered me, or put me in a potato, or fed me to birds. I had a pretty good life, and then you showed up. You dangerous. Mute. Lunatic. Of all the GLaDOS lines in Portal, this is definitely one of them. It's been a long time. How have you been? I think we could put our differences behind us. For science. You monster. I'm not even a huge fan of Portal, but the teaser trailer for Portal 2 still gives me chills. I rewatch it every so often. The little defeated, "Goodbye, sir," from GLaDOS after Cave Johnson's last line. Defective turret. Shooting blanks. Every time. All the time. Oh, it's you. It's been a long time. How have you been? I've been busy being dead. You know, since you murdered me. Look, we both said a lot of things that you're going to regret, but I think we should put the past behind us. For science. You monster. This is also just one of the greatest lines ever written in all of everything. It gives me chills every time. The way GLaDOS says, "Oh, it's you," as she's waking up has always unnerved me. My favorite Portal line has and will always be the broken "we." Look at you, sailing majestically through the air. Like an eagle, piloting a blimp. It's not calibrated for someone of your generousness. If a future you tried to warn you about this test, don't listen. We do all our science from scratch. No shortcuts. What was the context? Honestly, every single line in both Portal games. The dialogue in Portal is 10 out of 10. Whoever wrote GLaDOS is a goddamn genius. Look at you, sailing through the air majestically like an eagle, piloting a blimp. We both said a lot of things that you're going to regret. Speedy thing goes in, speedy thing comes out. I get this reference now. I just completed Portal 1 and 2 just last week. Yes, the cake is a lie. Happy birthday, Portal 2. Left 4 Dead 2. You just want some good old-fashioned cola. One time, me and my buddy Keith. This video will never not be hilarious to me even as a grown man nearly 15 years later. It cracks me up. https://youtube.be/m1uv41i1 ? C=boo-u-peln-u-bine. My friends call me Coach. Football. Thud. YYH. Pills over here. This used to be a nice neighborhood. One-man cheeseburger apocalypse. Nick's line of, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired," seeps into my head every time I'm sick or tired. You have no honor, and you are a slave to it. Genuinely the hardest decision I've ever made in a video game. I can justify both options equally, and it's heartbreaking regardless. Maybe time for another playthrough. Ghost of Tsushima, in case anyone is wondering. It'll be on PC next month. Oh, that's awesome. I've been waiting and did not know. Wait, really? Finally? May 16th, I think. Looking forward to it. I played it on my roommate's PS5 at 1080p and 60 FPS. Can't wait to play it at 1440p and 90 plus FPS. It was a really good looking game even at 1080, and he fully believed in his code of honor, so I respected him with his decision. It was like a final gift, that's how I justified it, but it was hard lol. Such a great game. It'll be very interesting to see which route they choose for the movie. I personally find the honorable route of killing him more fitting for the story. So I hope they would go for that one. Asterisk. Honor died on the beach. Asterisk. Dude, that sent chills the first time I heard it. So good. There I was, starting to get emotional. Then Jin drops that hard-ass line and I'm instantly hyped and rooting for him. Also, when Yuzo is calling for the gate to be opened. That voice crack really adds genuine emotion to it. This is probably one of the best games of all time. Mass Effect 3, the only time in the entire trilogy and Elcor doesn't clarify what they are saying before speaking. Greater than Shepard. How many Elcor made it off the homeworld? Greater than Elcor Diplomat with a heavy sigh. Not enough. Damn, that hits hard. I never thought about it, but you may be right at that being the only time an Elcor doesn't clarify their emotional state when they speak. Even the Elcor knew it didn't need clarification, or simply lacked the words to even try describing the emotion. Do we even have a word that would have put the correct weight behind it? I'm not sure I've gotten this line. Personally, I always sided with protected the Elcor and Voluz. Batarians went either way depending on Shepard's bio. It's a side mission in 3. After rescuing the surviving Elcor from their homeworld, this is what the Elcor diplomat who gave you the mission says when you turn it in. I don't think there's any way not to get this dialogue, except by not doing the mission. It's not down to Shepard's actions, but the Reaper's. What's even better is that I believe the reason he didn't need clarification was not because it would be obvious what he meant, but that his grief was so intense that emotion actually came through his speech, which we know, for an Elcor, is unheard of. His subtle facial twitches wouldn't have been noticed by the layman, but to me, he might as well be sobbing. I've played that game for hundreds of hours and done at least 30 playthroughs, and I've never realized that the Elcor diplomat didn't specify his emotion at that moment. I would have picked another moment from the Mass Effect trilogy for this question, but your answer is way better. Really hurts to think of the implication that this lovable race of big, slow-talking gentle giants is on the track towards extinction no matter what you do. If one reads into their words that way, on the flip side, coquettishly, and they were a diplomat, too, one of their best people for communicating with other species. I've got a long list, and most of them are from story-focused RPGs like Dragon Age, Baldur's Gate, The Witcher, etc., but my number one is actually Joel in The Last of Us. You're right. You're not my daughter, and I sure as hell ain't your dad. And we are going our separate ways. The line, the delivery, the context, the brutality veiling the heartbreaking sadness. It's perfect, and it'll live in my head forever. Everyone I've cared for has either died or left me. Everyone. Fucking except for you. So don't tell me that I would be safer with someone else, because the truth is I would just be more scared. Oh man, what a great game. Just reading that brings back the dad emotions I was feeling back when I played. Still the best acted game by quite far, emo. What is a man? A miserable pile of secrets. Dracula, Symphony of the Night. Who's like us? Damn few. And they're all dead. Old man. Mist. Had to go farther down this list than I thought to see Dracula. That line has been with me since the beginning. Forever salty Konami replaced the dialogue in the later ports. The old man line was from a puzzle and Return to Zork. You had to drink the guy under the table by pouring out your glass when he wasn't looking. Otherwise, you pass out after one drink. Want some rye? Of course you do. Yep, went searching for... Want some rye? You're totally right. It was Return to Zork. It's been a long time since playing those games. Not originally from that game, though. It's a very old quote from Robert Burns, the Scottish poet. Oh man, an absolute classic. Great poll. It had to be me. Someone else might have gotten it wrong. Morden, Mass Effect 3. Was I the only one who didn't know? Titus, Final Fantasy X. Everyone I have cared for has either died or left me. Everyone, except for you, Ellie, The Last of Us, I Got You Baby Girl, and you just come after her. Joel, The Last of Us, do not mistake my silence for lack of grief. Kratos, God of War, permission to leave the station, sir. To give the Covenant back their bomb, Master Chief. Huh. Low 2, better to die in hope rather than live in despair. Unaleska FFX. Una. I have to go. If you haven't played the game to the end, that line won't mean anything. If you have, it will rip your heart out. In the same vein, Una whistling off the docks over and over again just fucking demolishes me every time. I can't believe we're about to fight Lady Unaleska. Give me a Briac. Waka. FFX. Mine is from that same fight in its Orin's speech. Now, this is it. Now is the time to choose. Die and be free of pain, or live and fight your sorrow. Now is the time to shape your stories. Your fate is in your hands. That was so fucking badass. 13-year-old me thought Orin was the peak of cool, and I loved his theme, the original, not the remastered one. Also, FFX awakened me for goth mommies. Orin was indeed the peak of cool. Always thought of him as the cool old wise man. Checking his bio, he's always been 35. Suddenly I feel unbearably old. He's 35, sure. But how long has he been 35? FFX awakened a lot of things for me. Welp, looks like I need to boot up the game and play again. Haha, yes, greater than 3. I have it installed, but I got myself stuck in the Omega ruins and I'm too stubborn to just leave. Poor creature, sad face. Death can have me, when it earns me. Holy hell, Kratos never misses when it comes to hard one-liners. My favorite is when Athena says he'll always be a monster, and his reply is, yes, but I am your monster no longer. Quote, very commonly known now, but the actor actually cried and his voice broke during one of the takes. Check YouTube for it. They really should have used this take for the actual game. Asterisk, asterisk, I do not need a snack. Asterisk, asterisk. Look of triumph. Easily one of the coldest lines in gaming history. Yeah, can't get more metal than this. I am the very model of a scientist, Solarian. Yes, you were Morden. Yes, you were. I have never played God of War. But hearing Kratos' monologue to his past self was so incredible, and the voice acting was truly some of the best I've heard. Indeed, for me it's the moment in 4 when he acknowledges Athena's assessment of him as a monster and he replies with, I know, but I am your monster no longer, and walks out of the house with the blades of chaos. Damn, that gave me chills. That may be the latest thing he's done in the character, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. God of War 4 and God of War Ragnarok are full of incredible moments and lines from Christopher Judge. Christopher Judge almost passed on it too, because he's fully aware of the fact he lacks vocal range, and games apparently want people who have that. I don't think I've seen Christopher Judge as anyone other than Teal'c or Kratos, but I don't think I need to. I got you, baby girl, made me cry. Morden's line was also a tearjerker. Man, I misread that at first and was racking my brain for when Morden said, baby girl. Also Kratos. Do not be sorry. Be better. There are consequences to killing a god. Quiet, head. Death can have me when it earns me. That moment from Halo 2. https://youtube.be/wivzy9b6aim closing parenthesis still gives me goosebumps. I love me some void combat. Shout out to Sergeant Johnson for some of the funniest lines in gaming. Dear humanity, we regret being alien bastards. We regret coming to Earth. And we most definitely regret that the Corps just blew up our raggedy-ass fleet. The other two from Halo 2 is Chad Shipmaster. Shipmaster, brute warships. They outnumber us 3-1. Then it is a fair fight. All cannons fire. Burn their mongrel hides. Edit. This is Halo 3. It's been a hot minute lol, and then Johnson's joke about regret gets me. https://youtube.be/y8cr0xxvc2?mark C=qtj8ctvs_u1xcool . I don't understand people that rob Mordin of his redemption arc. It's one of the most beautiful pieces of writing in a game series ever. Does this unit have a soul? I haven't played Ragnarok yet because I'm on PC, but man, Gao is a mine of pure gold lines. Like that one near the beginning. Kratos. Do not be sorry, be better. It seems harsh at that point in the game, but when you get near the end and Kratos basically admits he was an ass because he was scared of what would happen to his son if he were to disappear. Bro, this Mordin line before he steps into the elevator had me crying through the whole cutscene. Even better if you try to persuade him not to. When he admits the genophage modification he made where a mistake was an incredible delivery. Last of Us had so many good ones. I believe him. Spoilers for The Last of Us Part 2. Ellie. Greater than. Asterisk, you're gonna fucking die. Joel, get up. Joel, fucking get up. Please stop. Asterisk, less than TT. Not as emotional, but flammable. Or inflammable. Forget which. Doesn't matter. God, Last of Us has some really great ones. And poor Titus loudly crying. For a brick, he flew pretty good. Death will have me when it earns me. Gao Ragnarok, probably the coldest line Kratos has ever spoke. And he's spoken a lot of banger quotes. FFX hits different on a replay when Titus keeps talking about what they're going to do after they defeat Sin and the rest of the crew is silent, loudly crying. I know frowning face. FFX is one of my favorites for a reason. The characters are just so good. Can't forget, I am a monument to your sins. Always really like the Gao. Don't be sorry. Be better. Every time I see that scene in The Last of Us, I can't help but tear up. Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker really sold it. Though honestly, I can't think of anything they've voice acted where they haven't absolutely killed it. That said, Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey also played it amazingly and had to go and make me cry again. That line by Mordin can almost make me cry on command. Every time I play, that's the hardest part to watch. Titus, FFX. I didn't cry. You cried. Final Fantasy X. Someone said Mordin. I get to share this now. https://youtube.be/expects_C=RMHVHBDRGVT7 urged. My first thought was, you just come after her, too. Your face, your ass. What's the difference? Duke Nukem. The game itself left a lot to be desired, but I'd add another chief quote. Sir, no sir. You knew it was coming and it still hit like a truck. I repeat that first one to myself every day at work while I fix my coworkers' fuck-ups. You just come after her, literal chills after reading that. That's my pick for hardest line of the game. Bro, do you even play indie games? For me, the quote that hits hardest from FFX would have to be Orin when you're about to fight Lady Yunalesca, who is normally quite stoic and passive. Now, this is it. Now is the time to choose. Die and be free of pain or live and fight your sorrow. Now is the time to shape your stories. Your fate is in your hands. That shit still gives me goosebumps when I play back through the game. The chief line might just be the best in the entire series of games. This is your world now, Orin. The line stays with me. Orin was such an amazing character, I named my son Orin. What if you miss? I won't. What can change the nature of a man? If you would get rid of that ass haircut, you might get some bitches on your dick. Let me get 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 4/5, 2 number 7s, and a number 6 with extra dip. A number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda. Better yet, maybe Tanisha will call your dog ass instead of that brain surgeon or lawyer she fucking with. Musical note, new musical note. God, that way Lamar says the N-word here fucking kills me every time. Same. It's iconic. All you had to do was follow the train, CJ. All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ. And then, you know what? Good morning, Balla's dope pushers. Grove Street OGs come to do damage. So good. Bang your line early in the game. You missed a word, though, bro. Winking face. https://youtube.be/z6jbt0u6kiss. I got 2 for GTA. After 5 years on the East Coast, it was time to come home. Grove Street. Home. At least it was until I fucked everything up. I poked my head out of the gutter for 1 freaking minute, and fate shovels shit in my face. Ryder, not this again. It ain't me, fool. No one else is that small. I feel sorry for your dad. Wait, you didn't say the full line. For some reason I think it often, but one pedestrian sometimes says when he sees player do something abnormal. I shit my damn pants. It's the delivery which makes it. It's like shock and surprise, but very laconic way how he says it. What's this from? GTA 5. Lamar talking to Franklin towards the beginning of the game. https://youtube.be/38rnfv6w1a?c=t0nq8 sibijerbone. Grove Street. Home. At least it was before I fucked everything up. And word. Better yet, maybe Tanisha will call up your dog ass after she stopped fucking with that brain surgeon or lawyer or whoever she fucking with Franklin. Ryder, not this again. It ain't me, fool. No one else is that small. I feel sorry for your dad. I've had this as my profile banner since I made my account lol. Alright, I've been thinking. When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back? Get mad. I don't want your damn lemons. What am I supposed to do with these? Demand to see life's manager. Make life rue the day it thought it could give Cave Johnson lemons. Do you know what I am? I'm the man who's gonna burn your house down. With the lemons! I'm gonna get my engineers to invent a combustible lemon that's gonna burn your house down. Cave Johnson. Turns out all these moon rocks we ground up are highly carcinogenic cough hack rolling on the floor laughing. But GLaDOS saying her speech about, I have to thank you for showing me where to find the part of me who still cares, file deleted, was chilling. Although the final song implies she was lying about that. Yeah, she was just trying to save face and act cold and tough like she usually is. The turret opera right after seems to indicate she still cares too. I've got some good news and some bad news. The bad news is we're postponing the test indefinitely. The good news is we've got a much better test for you. Fighting an army of mantis men. Pick up a rifle and follow the yellow line. You'll know when the test starts. Cave Johnson. That game had some of the best written dialogue in video game history. Alright, this next test may involve trace amounts of time travel. So, word of advice. If you meet yourself on the testing track, don't make eye. Lab boys tell me that'll wipe out time. Entirely. Forward and backward. So do both of yourselves a favor and just let that handsome devil go about his business. I love how 2 of the 4 top answers for me are Portal. Some of the best writing and voice acting in games ever. J.K. Simmons and the writers are so damn good. I'm afraid, seeing Arthur admit that fear is consuming him after all the epic adventures and actions leading up to this moment is just heartbreaking and emotional. It just feels real. I gave you all I had. I did. This one, even more memorable than, I'm afraid. I cannot watch this scene without getting choked up. If I remember right, those were the last words he ever said. Depending on your honor. I got the damn us both ending. That broke me faster than anything else in that game. And it had some solid lines. Think that I did was when he was talking about John being the only one who made it out. But Arthur tried. But that whole scene is memorable. Dutch. He's a rat. Edit. Never mind, just looked it up and he said it both times. Still great.